I'm a hardcore Indiana Fever fan, and I'm trying to kick the habit. Caitlin Clark has irritated me with her woke stuff, but I can't kick the habit. They've built a super team. They're going to make it to the WNBA finals and probably win, at least on paper. The team they've put together with the coach, it looks amazing. But my buddy pointed out something that I'm just be honest with. I was asleep to. He's like, "Hey man, the Las Vegas Aces, uh, they're definitely making the NBA Finals. They got Jewel Lloyd." And I go, "They got Jewel Lloyd? I didn't know that. That didn't come." And again, I'm sleep at the wheel because again, I'm a Fever fan, but it's just I knew that Kelsey Plum got traded, but I guess I just hadn't paid attention to who she got traded for. She got traded for a much better player, someone 2 to 3 inches taller, more athletic, a perennial all-star, Jewel Lloyd from the Seattle Storm. Perennial all-star. And so they got Jewel Lloyd, they got Chelsea Gray, they got Jackie Young. That's 3 people in their backcourt. I think that all 3 were all-stars last year. And of course, they have Asia Wilson. And so my friend's point is the WNBA has manipulated their offseason in a way so that they actually have a Boston Celtics, Larry Bird, Los Angeles Lakers, Magic Johnson rivalry in the WNBA. You're going to have Asia Wilson, who's arguably the best player in the WNBA, and she represents that woke, Yas Queen, why aren't I being worshipped enough? Angry black woman. And then on the other side, you're going to have Caitlin Clark and the exciting whites. And I know, hey, we're just days away from the Super Bowl, and you guys don't want, why are you talking about the WNBA? Why are you even thinking about it? I don't want to do it. I want to, football. Let me hear more about officiating in football. But I'm telling you what's coming. This WNBA, whether you like it or not, and whether you like the fact that Caitlin Clark bent the knee, the WNBA has created the magical storyline. The storyline that has worked all throughout television history. They got conflict between, they've created it, and I know there are black players on the Indiana Fever, but they've created conflict between black and white. And now they have 2 super teams. Now they have Larry Bird's Boston Celtics that had Bird and some exciting whites and Robert Parrish and Dennis Johnson. That's what you have over with the Indiana Fever. Caitlin Clark is a superstar. Now she's got some running mates with Sophie Cunningham and Lexi Hall. And now that she's got the key low post players that will carry her and allow her to be the full-blown Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark will end up in the MVP conversation in a very serious. I think she, if not for racial idolatry, I would predict she'll be the NBA MVP this year. They put.
I was just kind of waiting to see what he was going to say there, but yes. Look, on this channel, we're not going to get into the whole race situation. You already know that. Obviously, we're going to react to the video, but when it comes down to it, look, I mean, he is kind of making sense. Jason's making sense. I mean, you got Caitlin Clark and you got the 3 whites or whatever he calls them, the whiteys or whatever. Cunningham, Lexi, Caitlin Clark. You take a look, Coach Stephanie White, I get it. And then you go over to the Aces, a bunch of black girls. I understand where he's coming with it. I don't think this was intentionally put together by any means, because there's white girls on the other teams and there's black girls on the other teams. So I mean, I get it. Fan base to fan base, I can kind of see what you're doing, and I can kind of see where it's starting because Nike has released Asia Wilson's shoe, and now her fans, Caitlin Clark fans, are like, "Where's Caitlin Clark's shoe?" Asia Wilson had the jersey retirement. Caitlin Clark had the jersey retirement. Now there's debate. Why did they have it at the same time? I kind of get where they're coming from. I get where Jason's coming from 100%. Caitlin Clark's going to play at Iowa. Angel Reese now she's going to play at LSU for the opening WNBA game or something like that. You know? So I completely understand where Jason's coming from. And when you think about it, it kind of makes sense. I'm not going to sit here and act blind to it. He's making somewhat sense. And it just goes to show you it gives headlines, it gives controversy, and it gives headlines and topic points for us people who do content and media to talk about and to spark interest for viewership. So I get where he's coming from. It makes sense. It completely makes sense. The WNBA is going to be crazy this year. I get where he's coming from. But like I said, intentionally, there's no race talk on here, but we are going to react to it.
The perfect team, in my opinion, around Caitlin Clark. And you're going to have this racial conflict, the exciting whites, the angry blacks. The television ratings are going to be massive. And we're right at the very beginning of women's sports here in America being more compelling than men's sports.
And I'm going to chime in. Jason Whitlock is not the only person to say this. I've heard Colin talk about this. I've heard multiple people talk about this. Do you understand that the WNBA, their expansion team is like one of the highest bidding sports professional teams right now? Like professional sports teams that you could pretty much bid on. WNBA is the highest right now. WNBA, everybody wants to own a WNBA team. Everybody's trying to own a WNBA team. So the bids are going crazy. So Jason's right. You know, women's sports on the rise. A lot of people want to watch Caitlin Clark, and now a lot of people want to see Caitlin Clark beat. Jason's right. You know, black girls. And that unfortunately, that's what it is. You know, it is fan base to fan base. Not entirely, but it is what it is, man. I can't act blind to the comment section, bro. I can't act. I personally have a bunch of TikToks that you guys would have no idea that I own. Some of these comments that I have filtered, I have moderators in situations like that on, not even here, on my YouTubes, on my TikToks. Dude, these comments are crazy. Crazy. Flag, 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 flag. You guys would be honestly surprised. I'm not saying all comments, but if one video gets 1,500 comments, I would say at least 200 get flagged, and I got to go and read, approve, read, deny, understand. Like, it's a lot, and it happens daily. I see it daily. I'm not even gonna act blind to it. I'm gonna be completely honest, but at the same time, it gives that back and forth. It gives ooh, we gotta watch them. Ooh, we gotta do this. Why do you think Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark are playing each other the first game? Which the Indiana Fever are going to put belt to ass when they play the Chicago Sky this year. I feel bad for the Chicago Sky. So, like I said, not internally, that's not what it's all about, but essentially that's what it turns into. And it happened in the Pro Football League, it happened in the NBA, it happened in the Baseball League, it happened everywhere. That's just part of it. And Jason knows something. Jason's right on this.
And I know Steve Kim's going to come on and call me crazy, and he's not going to do it. He's not going to watch, blah, blah. He doesn't understand what's about to happen. And again, he'll be, I'm not watching it. I don't care, blah, blah, blah. It's going to be unavoidable.
And I see that too. I'm going to be honest. Like I said, I run a bunch of TikTok accounts and Instagrams and things like that. Hey, even when I express how how excited I am about the women's game, there's still a huge percentage of men out there who are just like, nah, I'm okay. Like, nah, there's no way. Like, it's just no. Like, next subject, no women's game. Next. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. The viewership for the WNBA this year is going to go skyrocketed, especially when you got an Indiana Fever team like this. Viewership's going to go, first game, I would say 5 million. First game this year, 5 million viewership. That is nobody's going to miss that game. So.
It's so compelling. And there's a lot, what's missing in the NBA and to some degree in the NFL with all this jersey swapping and we're all best friends and we're all working behind the scenes to play on each other's teams. But this is going to be legitimate competition with legitimate anger and animus and dislike of each other. It's because the WNBA and Nike and the powers that be, they're looking for a fight. They're looking for conflict because they know that's going to just elevate the women's game and women's athletes even more. People are about to choose sides in a real way as it relates to Asia Wilson and Caitlin Clark, the Las Vegas Aces and the Indiana Fever. The New York Liberty are sitting out there. They got a good team. They just won the championship. They got Brianna Stewart. They got Sabrina Ionescu. They got I don't know why I can't think of the center's name, but she's a really good player, can hit threes. They got a great team in the New York Liberty, but I don't think they're going to be the factor that they were. They got lucky and won the championship this year. And you got the Minnesota Lynx out there, that angry group of women.
Let me be honest, man. Now, when I really think about it, ESPN just dropped their rankings for next year, and they do have Caitlin Clark and Asia Wilson right next to each other. And I really think they're getting away from the fact that Angel Reese is going to be some. Angel Reese can't compete with Caitlin Clark, and I think they're starting to realize that. So the next big thing, who is black, is Asia Wilson. When you think about it, now they're the 1-2. Boom, jersey retirement same day. Asia Wilson drops a shoe. Caitlin Clark is right under her for MVP. There's so many already topics to talk about. Now they get a team. Now the Aces get a team. Well, they already had a team, but you get what I'm saying? Oh, Asia Wilson won MVP last year. Well, everybody wanted Caitlin Clark to win MVP. Guess what? Now they moved Caitlin Clark in the rankings right under Asia Wilson. Nike, they're both signed to Nike. Nike, why haven't you released Caitlin Clark's shoe? But they just, it's like, do you get where I'm coming from? Now it is kind of all making sense. It is kind of making sense. They do the jersey retirement on the same day. Are you kidding me? The same day. Come on, brother. Come on, brother. So, Jason, you're onto something, my man. You're onto something for sure.
That will be good. But this league is now about Asia Wilson and Caitlin Clark. It's about the exciting whites and the angry blacks. And this clash is going to elevate women's sports to an unprecedented level. People think you enjoyed watching Serena Williams, and you did. You really have lied to yourself and think that Simone Biles, that you watch her once every 4 years and you think that's a big deal. It's not. It's a once every 4 years Olympics deal. No one even knows what's going on in gymnastics. Everybody understands basketball. Everybody understands basketball. Virtually every boy or girl in America picks up a basketball at some point and shoots it at a hoop. Everybody understands. It's not that complicated. It's not football. You don't need to be rich like you do tennis or golf. Everybody understands basketball, and everybody understands that there is a conflict between black women and white women. And it's going to play out on a basketball court. And the Yas Queens versus the suburban white girls is going to be the biggest story in sports. And it's going, it may be 20 years from now. People are going to point to what they've created here in the WNBA and what the WNBA, and what they've allowed to happen in the NFL and in the NBA, and questions and conversation about the credibility of those leagues. And they're going to say, man, that was an inflection point. That was the beginning of women in America becoming the biggest stars in sports. It's happening. Like what you saw, big beginning of
100%. And for the doubters, look, let me just say this. I'm going to end it. Let me just say this. For the people who keep doubting the women's game and the women's growth and what the women are capable as far as taking over sports in general, you kind of already witnessed it last year. I don't know if you guys know, but the biggest networks are Sports Center, ESPN, like First Take, anything like, let's just say ESPN. I mean, every outlet connected to ESPN was posting Caitlin Clark. NBC, CBS, doesn't matter. Caitlin Clark. she's getting posted more, and she's right now, and she's not even in season. Caitlin Clark doesn't even play anywhere right now. She's not even playing. She's chilling. She's just training, and she gets talked about more than her training video gets more views than the whole All-Star Unrivaled League. Her training video, brother. That's all I got to say, you know. But yeah, as far as Jason, look, you're spot on. Like I said, I'm not going to get into the thing, but when I break it all down, I can see where Jason's coming from. That's all I'm going to say on it. You guys take it for what you think, and let me know how you think. Like, what do you honestly feel about this? Is it a race thing, or is it let's do this, let's set this up to have headlines, or is Jason just making stuff up? There's going to be headlines regardless of who's on Caitlin Clark's team. Everyone's going to try to go against Caitlin Clark. If you're not on her team, you're going against her, regardless. Headlines. And we've already seen it. Like I said, I see it in the media. I see it in my comment section on multiple TikToks. I had someone today post, I'm going through these comments, and you guys are showing your true color in here. There's not one. I don't even want to get into it. So that's really all I got. I'm just excited for the year. I keep saying it. Shout out to Jason, man. Appreciate you. And look, man, I'm going to catch you guys on the next one. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Like I said, let me know what you guys think about this. And also let me know who you guys got for the Super Bowl. I'm going to catch you on the next one, man. I'm out.